This is this is definitely, yeah, this could go down as the game of the year.
This is the greatest online chess event of the entire calendar year, the Speed Chess Championship. It's played on chess.com. The world's most elite blitz grandmaestros and Magnus Carlsen, the number one, the GOAT of the chess world, is in action against a blitz beast by the name of Jose Martinez, aka Jospin, as he goes online here. And what do we get? The very first game, instant classic. Levy's even comparing it to game of the year, right? It really is good fun. Magnus goes with an English opening here. He's a Norwegian. He's playing a Peruvian Mexican who responds with this, and you've got to love it. Magnus builds the banana hammock, a bit like a Catalan, named after a chess-playing cat called Alan, long-term second of Magnus, does a lot of behind-the-scenes work. Bishop e7, quick high five between the players as they castle, and after pawn b3, we get d4. Kramnik has seen enough at this point.
I mean, d4 move, it just wouldn't even cross my mind. Very often one move is enough indicator. It's just like impossible to find d4. Absolutely impossible.
We now get e3 in response from Magnus. c5 bolsters the centre and knight e5. I mean, that is a weird move. Not developing the pieces, moving a knight twice, but after it's attacked, the point is revealed. A real party hat set up on the king side, very unusual, supporting the knight. Clearly Magnus has done his homework. Do your homework, by the way. Use Lotus Chess, link in the description. I've said it many times. Incredible opening trainer app. Doesn't even feel like you're learning. Gamifies the entire thing. And completely free to get started. You can really give it a good go, see if you like it before any sign up stuff. Try it out, link below. We now see knight fd7 just to play with our heads. I mean, surely this knight needed to gallop forward, but these guys know what they're doing. Magnus takes and he goes for this big pawn center, but Black probably standing a little smidge better here. This bishop not having a great time. Jospin now goes round and looks to trade this bishop for this bishop. So Magnus shuts that down. Positionally, that would be helping Black. You know, this one's pretty stuck behind the pawn chain, but not allowed. So we get some expansion ideas. Magnus carries on developing. b5 thrusts into the game. Knight rotating. b-file opening here, and pawn f6 sets up a beautiful connect 4 structure. Jose only goes and wins himself a balanced bishop, a real favourite twiddle toy of former world champion Vladimir Kramnik. Brilliant prize. Now we get g4 from Magnus, and it really sets out the stall. Aggression, the name of the game here. g5 cracking on. Bishop e8 takes. Bishop recaptures here, and knight g5 storming the barricades here, looking to land there. So we see the bishop covering the square. Of course, Jose whispers, stack my bishop. Now we see bishop f3 and h6 chases away the pony. One of the strongest moves is actually queen d2, and if takes, connecting these pawns. Black should give back the piece apparently, or else get pawn stormed. That's a different game though. Magnus simply took, and now surely everyone in his chess dog is recapturing with the rook. It's what you do. But king takes was played. We get check, and now look at this. That king starts going for a wander. Queen a4 hits the knight, and it's defended with king to d6. I mean, you can already start to see why this game swirling round Levy's head as one of the games of the year. Just so many unusual motifs now. Rook invading, so the bishop retreats back. Fear not, Magnus is not setting up for the next game. He's just trying to get rid of that one. Rook f3 lifts, covers the base a bit, and after this pawn drops, the writing was on the wall for a while with that one. Nothing could be done. We now see the rook slide over here. Absolutely bizarre position we reach here.
This might be the weirdest game I have ever seen Magnus play.
and we can see the queen and the pieces are all a bit discombobulated. Not very good. Bishop backing up. Why not capture the pawn? We don't know. Probably Magnus was scared to open lines, get his queen trapped, something like that. Technically playable, but instead we get this, and now queen a5. A brave and bold move against the endgame goat. Magnus whips him off the board there. A few of his fans start bleating. Rook g2. We've got no clue what this guy's up to. Just on its own little maraud round the board. Very strange. Now we see knight c6. I'm not sure if maraud is a word, but we'll pretend it is. Now we see knight b4, hitting the backwards pawn, defended once more, and we see the stack of the two towers, keeping Tolkien proud. Knight c6 goes for the invasion, bishop covering here. You can see the power of the two bishops, right, forming that barrier, and Jose just goes for this weird kind of knight hoppy thing now, not really doing too much, not playing with much ambition. Knight c6 back, bishop d2, stops the knight rotating, and so instead we get a rook shuffle. Magnus keeps shuffling with the king. A few more moves on the board. Time's ticking down. Magnus a minute up on the clock. Look on the left here. Now we see king d1, knight b4 once more, and Magnus decides, okay, shuffle time's over, play time's done. Pawn a3. Now it's not actually a great move. You loosen your bishop. You could drop back here simply. You could even go knight a2, because after captures, rook in, you actually win back that bishop one way or another. But the incredible response instead was played. Knight d5. A square it has no right to be on, but this is the point. After Magnus takes, apparently c takes better, but this played. Now his loose bishop drops, and indeed Jose's judgment is correct that the invasion of the rook is much better for black. We see Magnus protect with the king, but e4 is now on the cards. So this one lifts, covers the square, but it runs straight into this move. Pawn h5. Now it wasn't played, but it was very strong, because you can't actually stay on this fourth rank once you go, or if you blockade, let's say, then you kind of kill yourself. Then the line can proceed like this. Slowly, black invades, and it gets very, very nasty with the pawn running. Yes, you can spin round, but this is a killer idea. You either take and let the bishop in here to defend the passed pawn, or you take the passed pawn, but then you allow e3, you kick that one back, and then you take here, and everything collapses. These are the themes of the position. The h-pawn had to be used, but Jose takes here, and it's a big mistake, because now Magnus can seize the b-file. What's the significance? Well, after the entry is blocked, rook g6 now pressures this one, threatens these kind of ideas, and picking up a loose bishop. So we get pawn e4 now storming through, but check, king going, check, and after you swap these rooks, which is now forced, you can take the pawn. The rook no longer defending. Yes, you give black a passed runner. This is how the game proceeded here, but the king steps back in time. Meanwhile, the white pawns are just avalanching through the center. This was actually the best move, but both low on time now. Magnus steps back with the rook, doing a bit of cover. Rook a2, not the best, but we'll crack on with the game. Apparently rook a4 stronger, but that looks weird. Rook b1 from Magnus, bishop b4 to stop the entry, and after e5, here come the space invaders. Watch out. Now rook a3, rook g1, rook a2, and it's just collapsing. Jose's thrashing without a plan. The entire king side's gone. He makes the queen, but to no avail. It's a spite check, really. This opens up the discovery. Sure, you could take, but no good. So the king goes, and the pawns start running. f6 anyway. Give a bishop, but so what? these connected win it, plus the extra piece. So this was played. Pawn to f7 in just a moment, and it forces resignation on move 71 because, okay, this is unavoidable. Here's a quick sample line of how you could get mated, give away your rook, and then you die something like this. This the final position here. Match is not yet done. He is ahead in it. I'll try and flash some scores up on screen, but generally speaking, looks like he's going to win this one. Hope you enjoyed. Do check out Lotus Chess, link down below, and I hope to see you again soon. Cheers.